Hello, good afternoon, everyone. And today is November 9th, and I am Sandra Arevalo. I'm your host. I'm the Director of Community Health and Wellness at Montefiore Nyack. And today we're going to be talking about how the holidays, such a merry time, can be also a very stressful time. So today we have Chaboni Toussaint. Did I say it right?
Yes.
Chaboni Toussaint. And she's going to be talking to us about why is it that we get the blues during the holidays and how we can kind of be more merry than blue and share many tips with us. So let's hear from her. But first of all, Shaboni, I will ask you to introduce yourself. I know you work for an agency called Community Partners right here in Rockland. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the home care agency is Purpose Partners Home Care. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for having me, Sandra. My name is Chaboni Toussaint. I'm the founder of Purpose Partners Home Care. It's a home care agency that provides services to the elderly and adults with physical disabilities so they can remain safely at home for as long as possible. I've been in the healthcare field for over 15 years. I began as a home health aide where I delivered care to clients, assisting in daily activities, developing a rapport with them to create a safe and trusting environment for care. I became intrigued by the evolution of healthcare, so I went on to pursue my degree. I got a degree, a Bachelor's of Science in Healthcare Administration at Long Island University. From there, I began working at a Fortune 500 company for over 10 years as a clinical administrative coordinator. And then I decided to pursue a career as a licensed massage therapist. That way I can directly impact clients' health and wellness. And so I went to the Swedish Institute of Health Sciences and obtained a degree, an associate's degree in occupational studies. So working as a licensed massage therapist for over 15 years, I helped a lot of clients treat conditions and maintain a healthy lifestyle. So, I believe that there's no joy that can match the joy of serving others. I love to serve, especially within a health and wellness. At my church, I served at the health and wellness ministry. I volunteered for a medical missionary trip in Jamaica, where I delivered care packages to individuals and helped in escorting patients to a pop-up medical clinic. So, I participated in different fundraisers. So, all these life-changing experiences allowed me to delve deeper into the healthcare problems afflicting a lot of people within our community. And I believe it made me who I am today. As founder of Purpose Partners Home Care, it's my mission to provide opportunities so that the people I connect with can live a better life. So that's a little bit about me.
Well, that's a lot, actually. You've done a lot already, Shaboni, and here you are helping us also. So thank you very much for that. And I understand that you have a PowerPoint, right? So I
do have yes.
I invite you to share your screen. And at the same time, while she shares her screen, I want to ask all of our attendees to please ask questions, send your comments in the chat. We want to make this very interactive as usual. So please use the chat or the Q&A, whichever way you want to communicate with us, please do. And I understand Shaboni is going to do a little presentation at the beginning, and then we're going to open for questions. And I'm going to be reading all your questions to Shaboni. So please go ahead.
Okay, thank you again, Sandra. And again, thank you to everyone for having me here today to talk about reducing holiday stress. Maybe sometimes you get overwhelmed by the shopping and the wrapping and all the things that come with the holiday, all the busy work that come with the holiday. So right now, I invite you to sit back and relax and just take that moment to relax because I'm going to read you a story. This is a delightful story that I read, and hopefully it will help you embrace the spirit of the season. Thanksgiving is right around the corner, followed by Christmas. So let's just sit back and relax and just hear a nice little story about the holiday. So the name of the story, the title of the story is Catch by Rick Labor. Following Christmas dinner, my family was relaxing around the kitchen table. We had all enjoyed traditional turkey, sweet potatoes lightly glazed with brown sugar, and a final wedge of pumpkin pie topped with a dollop of ice cream. The good cooking smells lingered. The oven remained warm. My sister, our chef, was basking in the compliments. Fabulous meal. I really couldn't eat another bite. Everything was wonderful. Dad had risen from his chair and was contently standing nearby. My nephew, never one to sit still for too long, began dribbling his new basketball around the tables and throughout the kitchen. Upon nearing Dad, he stopped almost uncertainly. With shaking, wrinkled hands, Dad had reached out for the ball. He did not speak, and the boy, confused, looked up and over at us. It took some convincing, but the ball was gingerly passed over. I watched my father closely to see what he would do. A playful smile appeared on his face. The twinkle in the eyes shone brighter than any Christmas lights. Holding the ball and reaching forward, Dad bounced it on the floor, then caught it. This action was repeated. Nodding approvingly, he turned towards our assembled group. Gently tossing the ball away, Dad began a game of catch. The ball continued to pass through eager pairs of outstretched hands. Cries of, "Over here," rang through the warm kitchen. Dad's active participation in this game was remarkable to me, since he had advanced Alzheimer's disease. This dementia robbed him of many memories and the recognition of people, places, and points in time. Despite this, Dad clearly recognized the ball and what you could do with it. In my younger years, playing with Dad was rare. To his credit, Dad worked hard and provided for us. He was very private and never showed nor shared much emotion. His game of choice was chess, which he did eventually teach me how to play. As an adult, I have become a caregiver and watched helplessly as Dad declined. Connecting moments between father and son had been few and far between before he took the basketball. I'm not sure how long we played catch. Watching the clock was not important. Dad gleefully led us until he began to tire. What I do know is that our game ended all too soon, and it was time to face reality of dirty dishes piled high on countertops. The moment, though, will certainly last forever. On this Christmas, Dad gave me a special memory, one that I will always treasure. You know, it's the little things that create warm, happy, loving, lifelong memories. So I hope this story was delightful to you as it was to me. I really enjoyed reading it. So why the holidays can be stressful. Holiday stress often comes from trying to keep up with social expectations like holiday entertaining or giving gifts. We often put unrealistic expectation on ourselves about how we should celebrate the holidays. And it leads to feelings of pressure and self-judgment if reality doesn't measure up to those expectations. And let's face it, we put high expectation on ourselves during the holiday season. I know I do. You know, they say that the holidays are deemed as the most magical time of the year, and we try to make it as such. But reality doesn't always measure up to these expectations. The holiday season can leave you feeling tired well before the holiday actually arrives. And I want to share with you a few points of worry you might recognize during the holiday season. The first one is a packed calendar full of extra get-togethers. You can also feel stressful realizing how much your loved one has changed over the past year. Maybe there's a change in their health condition, or they're just simply aging. That could be stressful, especially if you haven't seen them in a long time and you've seen them you're going to see them during the holidays, and you realize how much they have changed. The holidays can also be stressful trying to squeeze in every family tradition that you remember from past years, or worrying about gift giving and financial obligations. Fortunately, there's good news. You can reduce holiday responsibilities this year to focus on connecting with your loved one. You don't need every tradition to feel the holiday spirit, and I want that to be your takeaway today. Downsizing to your favorite traditions can actually make everyone feel more joyful. So let's evaluate your holiday expectations. You can begin a process by getting a view of what your holiday season looks like. You can pull out your calendar and jot down your typical traditions. So most of us have a smartphone. So if you want to take the time now to pull out your smartphone, and on the smartphone, you probably have a calendar that you use. I'll give you a few seconds to take that out. And you can either grab a piece of paper, or again, with the smartphone, you have a note section. And you can take some time now if you want to jot down a few typical traditions that you have. But what we're going to do is we're going to narrow down those traditions by crossing out events or traditions that won't work this year. So here's how we're going to do it. We're going to ask some questions. We're going to ask ourselves some questions to narrow down your traditional list, your list of traditions. So the first question that you want to ask yourself is, does this event make your loved one overstimulated, anxious, or worried? Or does it make you overstimulated, anxious, or worried? You want to also ask yourself, does my loved one feel happy when we are preparing for this tradition? Or do you feel happy when you're preparing for this particular tradition? Another question you can ask yourself to narrow down your tradition list is, can my loved one manage this event without lots of additional assistance from me? Do I have the help I need to make this tradition happen this year? You can also ask yourself, am I looking forward to this tradition, or am I dreading it? If you feel anxious when you're thinking about this particular tradition, if you feel worried, if you find yourself procrastinating, then most likely you're dreading it. And that's something that you want to cross off of your tradition list. You can also ask yourself, does this tradition contribute to a positive relationship or moment with my loved one? Ask yourself these questions so you can begin to reduce your holiday responsibilities, right? So, that's a great questions to evaluate your holiday expectations. So what are some common challenges and frustrations during the holidays? Well, physical abilities or memory changes can make some events or traditions seem impossible this year. Common frustrations or stressful situations include having to navigate toileting or incontinence issues in a restaurant or crowded family home. Other common challenges and frustration come from overstimulation that leads to your loved one feeling extra confused or stressed out. Sleep disturbances caused by early mornings, late nights, or skip afternoon rest breaks can be challenging and frustrating. During the holiday time, our sleep schedule changed. We're up late at night wrapping gifts, or maybe up early in the morning to travel to a loved one's house. So, a change in your sleep pattern can be frustrating and stressful. Trying to pack up the right medications to make with your loved one when you are out of the home can be challenging and frustrating. Having to help your loved one up and down stairs or through hallways that don't support their wheelchair or mobility aid is another frustration. So instead of trying to do it all this year, choose only a few events or traditions that really matter. You can have a meaningful holiday together, even if it looks a little bit different, right?
And Shaloni, I think that, here we can be thinking about our elderly, but at the same time, this can be easily applied to younger families as well, because if you have babies, right, you're probably already not sleeping. And then you have to think about packing everything for the baby, and where are you going to bring the stroller? And it might not be a wheelchair, it might be a stroller. And then all the diapers and everything that you have to bring for a baby. Like I remember when my daughter was a baby, that right at the door, when I was finally ready to go and I'm already running an hour late, I had to do another diaper change. And I was like, oh my God, this is another hour that I'm going to be here. So I think that, this can apply different ways to older and younger families, or even for ourselves, right? Maybe we might not feel comfortable going to certain places or hanging out with a lot of people if there is like a big party that we need to go to, or we ourselves might not be feeling our best, our health might not be in the best shape right now, and we are like over stressing and over exerting ourselves on trying to meet everybody else's expectations.
Absolutely. This is for anyone who's ever been a caregiver. And at some point in life, we all have been caregivers, whether as a parent or for our parents, or for a loved one or family member who's dealing with some a health issue. This applies to everyone, all caregivers, and even for yourself, we care for ourselves, right? So we have to look at self-care. You want to take these these challenges and frustrations can come from that too, just trying to take care of yourself, especially if you're dealing with a health issue. So yeah, it can apply to a wide audience. Absolutely. So let's talk about downsizing. So here's some downsizing inspiration. Smaller doesn't mean less festive, right? Less is more, right? So when you downsize your traditions, you may find that what really matters is meaningful moments with your loved one. So I'm going to give you a few ideas that can inspire you to make each event or tradition even more special. So in terms of downsizing, i- instead of baking all 12 cookie recipes that your loved one made in the past to pass out to neighbors or family and friends, choose only one or two. You only need one or two recipes. Turn it into a way to connect with your loved one without making a task seem overwhelming. So you can write a grocery list together one afternoon and shop for the items next week. It doesn't have to be done all in one day. You can break it down so that you won't feel overwhelmed. And you can even listen to holiday tunes during a baking session. You can remember, just make it relaxing and to take your time. Another way to downsize is attend family meals or events for just a few hours. As Sandra said, this this could be whether, especially good if you have small children, right? Um, and they have to be in the bed by a certain time, or you know that they're going to get cranky later on during the day. Attend family meals or events for just a few hours. It's best to leave before your loved one is overstimulated and exhausted. You can even tell everyone in advance what time your loved one will be there so they can plan accordingly. I remember one year, Thanksgiving was at my aunt's home. My loved one, who's diagnosed with MS, has difficulty climbing steps and uses a mobility aid. Um, so, dinner was at 6. I told my aunt we would be there at 5, an hour early. It was the best time for us. That way, my loved one didn't have to maneuver all through all the guests with his mobility aid. My loved one was able to climb a few steps with some assistance. And it was good that we arrived early because, honestly, that would have been difficult for some family members to see because they had a hard time accepting my loved one's diagnosis. So you can tell everyone in advance what time your loved one will be there so they can plan accordingly and leave when you need to leave. Another way to downsize is schedule events or traditions during your loved one's best time of the day. For example, someone living with memory changes may begin to feel anxious in the late afternoon or evening. So why not a holiday breakfast? A holiday breakfast can be an excellent replacement. You have to know what time of day works best for you. I'm a morning person. I have the most energy in the morning, so a holiday breakfast will be wonderful for me. You know, if the kids start getting cranky more towards like 9 o'clock, maybe you want to do an early lunch or early dinner. So, you can schedule events or traditions, that's best for your loved one, the best time of day for them.
Yeah, Shaboni, for Thanksgiving, for example, just to give an example of something that I've learned to do because I love to cook. So Thanksgiving is like my favorite holiday because it's all about food, right? But I used to stress a lot because as your family grows, you have more people coming to your house. And I was like, oh my God, it used to be a family of 4, now we're 20. So something that I learned was to potluck. So now I just make the turkey.
Absolutely,
And the
yes.
salad, and everybody brings something, and it's such a great time because everybody loves and tastes everybody else's food. And people have told me it's great doing it that way because we feel that we're participating as opposed
Yes.
to just come and sit and have a meal that is being prepared for you. It's like we enjoy
Yes.
each other more.
Even with the potluck, Sandra, you can downsize even more.
Mhm.
So if you're asked to bring a potluck or a meal to a friend or relative, and you feel like it's going to take away from your downtime, because even making up, if you have like 3 small little ones, little children, even that can be overwhelming and it can take away from your downtime. Why not buy something from your favorite restaurant and put it in your favorite casserole and bring it? You're still participating and you can still enjoy the festivities with your loved ones. And everyone's happy that you brought a dish.
Right.
So you can even downsize even further with that,
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
or for Christmas, because for Christmas also, yeah, like if you have to buy many gifts and stuff like that, it can be expensive. And all those expenses can be a headache as well. So lately what I do is me and the cooking, I bake cookies, I make coquito, I make flan, and I make it nice. And that's what I give to my neighbors and things like that. And they are very appreciative because they know that, it was handmade, homemade, you put your soul into it, as
Right.
opposed to, an expensive gift.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And, a lot of times we can downsize by delegating.
Mhm.
You might want to go buy a store-bought pie instead of making one to take to the family get together. You can also delegate with gift wrapping, you want to choose someone who's great at gift wrapping and have them do it. Or maybe a store that offers have gift wrapping services, if you purchase something from there. So that can take away from the stress. You won't feel so overwhelmed. You delegate what you can so that it doesn't become overwhelming. If you find yourself feeling stressed, like I said, with the gift wrapping and the potluck, don't be afraid to delegate. Use the resources around you. Take some pressure off. Another way to downsize, you can plan a relaxing afternoon together, watching your favorite holiday movie, brewing some coffee, whatever your favorite beverage is. Treat yourself. It's a great way to spend time together. You can also downsize by taking a holiday drive around the neighborhood instead of decorating your loved one's front yard like you once did. That's a great way to spend time together. We spoke earlier and Sandra mentioned about some of the worry and stress comes from financial obligation. Well, that's a great opportunity to spend some time together. Experience is the best gift. You're spending time together. Go for a drive around the neighborhood. Look at the neighbor's decoration. Purchase your favorite beverage from your coffee shop or bring a thermostat. Homemade made gifts. You can make a gift together. That's a great way to downsize. You're not in the stores shopping, and it takes away from the stress and worry of the financial obligation of it as well, because that can be stressful during the holidays. You can skip putting up huge decorations. You can make your decorations smaller. For example, if you traditionally get a tree around this time of the year, instead of getting a huge tree, get a smaller one. It's less decorations to pull out, less time to decorate. Less is more, right? So that's something that you probably would want to do. If you you can also, if you watch religious services online instead of attending in person, this time of the year, there's people tend to, during the religious time of the year, like Easter, Christmas, New Year's, when is church most crowded? Around that time of the year. So if you normally go during a holiday, maybe you want to stream online. Since the pandemic, more churches are streaming now. Maybe that's something that you would want to consider. So, these are some ideas in terms of downsizing. Remember, you always have the option to say no to any invitation that comes your way. You also have the option to leave the event if your loved one is showing signs of distress. It's perfectly acceptable for your traditions to change over time. You can create new traditions. Sometimes we need to do that to fit, our lifestyle changes, your lifestyle changes, your family lifestyle changes, your friends. So we can create new traditions to fit those changes in life. If a ritual causes stress, consider forming a new one. Unfortunately, there are plenty of things you can do for stress relief. You can include home care services as part of your stress reduction plan. If disability is a source of stress, changes in your home, such as home care services, can help you live more independently. If you're a caregiver, your emotional health concerns don't disappear just because it's the holiday. In fact, you might feel more anxious, more depressed, even lonely or isolated because of the pressure to keep up spirits during the holiday and to keep a smile on your face. Home care services such as companion care can help release stress by assisting with activities of daily living. And if you would like to learn more about home care services, please call Purpose Partners Home Care. The numbers on your screen is 845-675-8484. And you can schedule a free, no obligation in-home consultation. And if anyone wants some more tips and ideas, or the ones that I mentioned on how to downsize and reduce holiday responsibilities, you can email me at the email address is info@Purpose Partners Home Care. And I'll be happy to send you a list of downsizing inspirations. And just want to let you know that we are cheering you on as you reduce holiday responsibilities this season.
And Shabani, I'm writing your email here. So it's info@Purpose Partners Home Care. Is it .org or
.com.
.com? Okay, I just put it there.
Okay.
So I really would like to have some interaction with our attendees. So I'm asking them, what you can use the chat to answer, like what stresses you during the holidays, and why don't we explore some of those stresses to see if maybe we can brainstorm together and we can come up with some solutions for that. So I got a response here: picking the right gifts. It's important to me to gift well. I love my family and I love gifting. I think that's a very, I'm very sympathetic to that, because it's true. I mean, there are people that might just get whatever to just give whatever, but if you are really invested on that, then I myself, I start Christmas shopping in May. And you're gonna be like, why May? And it's because when I see something that reminds me of somebody, I think, okay, now that I have it here, it's the time to get it. And then I save it for Christmas. And I'm gonna give you an example. I have a cousin that loves Tweety Bird. So one time I was at a mall and I saw a beautiful Tweety Bird shirt. And I was like, oh, this is the perfect Christmas gift for her, So I saved it for the longest time. Because then when you go Christmas shopping, my feeling is that I never find what I'm looking for, and then the parking, and everybody's angry during the holidays, or at least that's my feeling, like everybody's rushing, you have to fight for parking, there are long lines, everything is more expensive. So I'm in a Christmas shopping mood all year round. I don't know. What do you think?
I think that's such a great idea. Sandra, I think that's such a great idea and such a great tip to be in Christmas shopping all year round. Because one, you start early. When you leave it to the last minute, it can be stressful. And secondly, sometimes we don't always remember, like, for example, you might hear like you might hear your daughter say, "Oh, that is such a cute shirt, a pretty shirt." You and why not get it right then and there? That way you don't have to guess what she likes. You know that she likes it. Like, you know what? I'm gonna grab this tomorrow. I'm gonna grab it, during the week. Why? That way it's fresh on your mind. You don't have to, try to guess what she likes because she told you it's fresh on your mind. You don't have to wait till the end of the year to remember, okay, what is it?
Yeah, and it's a nice surprise, right? Because if that happened back in June and you
Mhm.
get that all the way for Christmas or whichever holiday you're celebrating, it's like, oh my God, how did
Yeah.
this get here?
Yeah.
So I don't know,
Yeah.
I have fun doing that.
And another thing you can do to answer that person's question, in terms of not knowing what to get your loved one, sometimes you can seek the help of others. You know, maybe you can, like, if you have children, you can ask their siblings, "Hey, did you hear? Mark's. Did Mark tell you? What do you think Mark would like? Did you hear him talk about anything that he would like?" You can do it that way too.
Yeah, exactly. We have another comment here. My family only shops for the kids now. We stopped doing the adults a long time ago. Yeah, I think that more and more families are moving to that, right? It's like
Right.
the holidays are for the children and not for everybody. Because then again, as the family grows, your
Yes.
wallet gets smaller. So
Yeah. Yeah. I can understand that. As a matter of fact, that is a new tradition in my family as well. We shop for the kids. What the adults do, we do Secret Santa. So that, it's the family is growing, right? We started off as a family of four, now it's a family of 40, right? Just to
exactly.
say. So you have a lot of adults, and that's a lot of shopping to do. And you sometimes you just don't have the finances. So we buy gifts for the children. And for the adults, we do Secret Santa. That way we're buying one gift, but everyone gets a gift.
Yeah. I was just gonna say that people play different games. I have to say in my family we do that every year. We're like, okay, kids only. But then,
Mhm.
I feel bad and then I see something that I like for my sister, and then I start like buying things for everybody. And then because everybody knows that somebody's gonna come with gifts for everybody, then everybody starts buying stuff. So we have not come to an agreement on that. But I think it's a good idea to just stick to the kids,
Yeah.
and just let them celebrate and Secret Santa. Or there is another game that people play. Elephant, something, the white elephant, the elephant in the room,
Oh,
something like
yes,
that.
yes. That's a fun game too. Yes,
Yeah, I don't
absolutely.
remember the name, but it's something
Yeah.
with an elephant, and it seems very funny.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
Yes, this is a great, I'm doing gift exchange like that, like the white elephant, like you said. I can't remember the details. Someone probably could look it up online, but it creates memories in a moment, It's you're interacting with each other. So
Yeah,
yeah, that
I
is a great idea.
I believe that everybody buys a gift, but it has to be a funny gift, and then you put
Mhm.
all the gifts in one bag, and then people get to pick a gift, and if they don't like it, they kind of steal somebody else's gift or
Yes.
something like that.
Yes. Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it seems to be. I've done it twice, and I know it was so funny. It was really funny. Oh, look
Sounds
at
like
that! This is a great idea here in the comments. Adult piñata with fun
oh,
stuff like lottery tickets. Oh my
I
God,
like
that's a great
that. Very
idea.
good. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it can also be a gift idea. Yeah, a gift
Hmm.
idea.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's very sweet. Yeah. Okay. I think that Sharon, you made us realize that it's all about the fun and not the responsibilities that much. It
Right.
should be about what makes us happy and
Hmm.
not having to do what we don't want to do just because it's the holidays and because it's tradition. right?
Right.
If we're not up to it anymore, we shouldn't have to do it. And as you said, we can create new traditions that go along better with our new lifestyle because we all change, we all grow, we all
Right.
age, right?
Yes, we're getting
So,
yes. We're
yeah,
getting older, the family is growing. So focus more on about spending time with each other, the quality of time that you spend with each other, making memories, making new memories, new tradition. That can be lots of fun.
yeah,
And that's what it's about.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And it says here, another comment, it's about family and celebrating together and having a meal together and not buying gifts.
Exactly. Because listen, we're all busy. We're busy with work, with school, uh,
Taking care of
just
loved ones.
taking care of loved ones. So to just be able to sit down for an hour or two during the holiday, you have to look at that, rather than, you know, sticking to the past traditions. You can make new ones, but it's really about getting together with family because how often are we able to get together?
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, thank you so much, Shavoni. This is so enlightening and refreshing in a way. I don't know if other people can share that sentiment with me, but I feel like, yeah, you know what? I think we can make it work better for us this year. And it says here for the people that don't have family here, what can you suggest, like a place to go or something like that?
If you don't have family, you can also maybe see a family via Zoom. Sometimes, our family are far. So you can cook your favorite dishes. And when the family is eating dinner, you can eat dinner with them via Zoom and you have conversations. That's one idea. Um, and if you don't have family, maybe just take a walk around your neighborhood to see the decorations that your neighbors have up, and maybe even write them a little note, make friends. Like, hey, I really enjoyed your decorations. Thank you. You brightened up the neighborhood. Or visit a new neighborhood, go out and explore and see what this neighborhood looks like, what cool, neat decorations they have.
Mhm. Yeah. And also, for those of us who are lucky to have family, maybe we can invite somebody we know that it's gonna be lonely, right?
Absolutely.
We can
Yeah.
always,
And
we
sometimes
say
you have
if there
that
is soup
neighbor.
for two, there is soup for three. So you can
Yes,
always invite someone more.
yes, yeah. And sometimes, you can be living right next door to someone who wasn't able to visit with their family for some reason. And you can get together. And it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be anything big. You can get together for dessert. Like, hey, why don't we, I have some cookies or a pie. Would you like to do dessert together?
Mhm. And maybe because of this question, it just reminded me of something that happened to me a few years ago. And maybe we can end with that. So it was a 4th of July, actually. And I was at my sister-in-law's house and we were having a barbecue and a potluck, and it was a lot of people there. And we saw this older lady looking down from a building from her window, and she was just looking and looking. So we started waving at her and like this, like, come over, right? Well, believe it or not, the lady actually came, and we were surprised to see that she just showed up right there in the backyard. And she asked if she could have some food, and we said, but of course, there is enough food for everyone. And she said she was so thankful. We could not even believe our eyes because she was so
Yes.
thankful. She said, I haven't celebrated a 4th of July in years. I don't have any
Wow.
family. I've never had kids. And when
Wow.
I saw you guys, I was just amused by seeing you guys doing what you were doing. And when you called me, that was like a gift to me. And she sat down with us at the table and ate with us. And we were like, wow,
Yeah. Wow.
it's like we were happy. And then at the same time, it's like you feel kind of sad to know
Yeah.
that there are people out there that are obviously lonely, and you feel happy that you can help somebody. So,
Right.
yes, it's the holiday. So why not sharing with somebody?
That's right. Take that chance and reach out. Take a chance. Sometimes we might get shy or hesitant, but why not? Take a chance, reach out. You just never know.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly. So thank you very much, Shavoni. This is a
Thank you for
beautiful,
having me.
beautiful topic, and it's great now that the holidays are starting, to be able to have you here sharing your tips. And thank you to our attendees for being here and for participating. And next week, no, actually, next week we're not gonna be here because we're gonna be doing a diabetes symposium because November is diabetes month. So I invite you all, if you want to learn more about diabetes, you can go into our website and register for our diabetes symposium. We're going to be talking about the new technology in diabetes. So if you want to learn more about um, continuous glucose monitors, insulin pumps, all of that. You might have somebody that that has diabetes, or you might be living with diabetes, and you might like to know what technology is out there to help you manage your diabetes. And then the following week, we have Thanksgiving. So I'm not going to see you until the 30th. And on the 30th, we're going to be talking about what LGBTQ children want parents to know. So I know that a lot of people are interested on that, especially if we care about our children and our younger ones. We want to know how they really feel. So please join me on 11:30 on November 30th. And since I'm not going to be seeing you before Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Enjoy your families and a good time, and don't be too stressed out, right, Shavoni? That's the message.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you so much.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays.